again. Hope everyone's having a nice day. I've been having a really good one myself. I went out for a walk and me and my partner collected some wildflowers, which was really fun. It's from the place we usually go to for a walk through the park. I went to my favorite cafe. I made a sketch. I usually like doing that on days that I don't have anything. I would go out, take my sketchbook and a couple of pencils, like a really tiny one, and just sketch there every day. So I'll put in some bits of the day throughout the video. Had some coffee. What else? I've been really obsessed with the beekeeper videos, the one that says saving the bees at the end of each video. And I've been watching her every day, so I've been really excited to try out some Scottish honeycomb, and I tried one today on breakfast. It was divine. It was so good. It was actually really, much better than anyone I've ever had before. I am planning on doing a charcoal drawing, so I'll put in I'm planning on doing a charcoal drawing, so I'm gonna be putting in a time lapse of me doing it and explaining some shading with charcoal, just each block or a pencil and how it works and how well blends in or not. So I'll be putting in a little bit of that and some of my day, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm gonna be using this extra piece of paper to demonstrate on. So as you can see here, these are all types of charcoal. I'm gonna try to blend them first with a stump and then with a tissue to show you the difference. It's pretty simple. You just take the tissue and wrap it around your finger like this. I used to use my fingers, but I recently watched a video that said if you use your fingers, some of the oils on them transfer into the charcoal and leave some smudges, and it's very hard to remove, so it's better not to use your finger, but I do occasionally use that. So this is the difference between the blending stump and the tissue. You can see it's more blended and it takes off more of the charcoal off of the drawing or the paper, but the markings are still very evident. So if you want somewhere to be extremely blended, maybe using a blending stump is better, but if you want to spread it out evenly on a big or large place, tissue would be better. I hope that was somewhat useful. Now I'll choose a reference and I'll lay down my sketch with this graphite pencil, and I'll continue filming afterwards. think I'm gonna be drawing this one. I really like it. I'll be sketching that and then getting back to you. So as you can see, this is my outline. The outline doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to have the overall shape and kind of like proportions of what you're doing. It's good to just have a reference that you know you can always rely on with a graphite pencil. And for reference, some areas such as these, the darkest darks that are clearly a little bit outlined, if you can see, here you can see a line, here you can see a line, I can start adding them in with the HB or the 2B pencils, whatever you have. It's better to have these kind of outlined, not completely, so I wouldn't add any of it over here or here, but when you see a clear line or somewhere that's clearly darker than the rest, it's good to lay that out first with the HB pencil, so you can have a reference of that as well. So even if you mess up the shading here, you can always know where the shape of the body is going. Even if you shade it wrong, you can fix that, but you know how it looks, so you won't end up with like a wonky shape. As you can see here, I went in with darkest areas with the 2B pencil so they can stay dark, and I know now where like the most important shapes are, so they can just stay there. Now, although I've blended in some of it with the stamp, you can still see the original lines right here where I put in the pencil. So wherever I shade, if I ever go wrong, if I shade the wrong place, I can always remove it with an eraser, but I'll always have this shape to go back to as a reference. Of course, you don't only need to shade in lines, you can shade in some shapes, but you always need to make sure that they're one of the darkest shapes in the drawing itself. So this is very dark, this is a really dark shape, this is a really dark shape, so you can kind of replicate them here and then blend them in, but don't blend in any of your darker shades with any of the pencils. Sorry, your lighter shades with any of the pencils, because it could ruin the whole proportion and value of your drawing. Even before adding in any of the willow charcoal or removing anything with an eraser, you can start to see like a really nice body shape emerging from just blending with the blending stamp and your original outline. As you can see here, I added some tones with the willow charcoal and blended it in. With the willow charcoal, it's okay to leave some of the areas unblended if you want to layer them up on top of each other. It's gonna look like a shadow and not like a drawn line. Also, I kind of messed up here where I added a lot of shadow, so I'm gonna be using my kneadable eraser to remove some of the wrong shadows that I added. So just about here, I'll go in real soft over here and a little bit more harsher over here, just right there. So here looks more blended and my mistake is fixed. If you're blocking in something with shadows, instead of trying to draw them, just go and look at each shape and try to replicate it. So don't think too much about like how the light part of the picture looks like, as much as you need to focus on the shadows. So here I'm just gonna try to like follow these shapes. now the trick is with the blending. So this is, if you can see here, it's blended in downward, so it's doing the same thing with the blending. Can give you a very similar effect. With here, this one is also blended in here, so try to bring your shadow down the most here. With the rest, just go really light. The same concept here. Try to bring this down and then try to go really light with the rest. The soundtrack will mix or the blending stump is really soothing. Now that the main part of the drawing is done, I've added some shadows, blended them in, blocked in this thing, and I will be blending more and going over the areas that I haven't blended in that well. And if I have some really dark shadows with details such as the ones over here or on the neck or this side, I'll be adding them in with the HB pencils. Now I'm gonna start pulling out any highlights with this kneadable eraser. So some of them are over here and little bits over here. Maybe cleaning up the shape a little bit right here and here. Just by looking at the picture and just seeing where there's any place where you went a little too dark, or that you maybe messed up the shape, because charcoal gets everywhere, so that's gonna happen. It's good that it's very easy to fix. Remember to stay hydrated and do not paint for too long without taking a break. Now I kind of blended in my last shades. The last thing I'm gonna do is go in with this and just pull out some highlights and then blend them again. And I think by then I'll be done with the drawing. This, I think we're done. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope you had some useful info come out of that, and I'll see you soon.